Good afternoon, folks. This is your host, Mandeep. It's Sunday, March the 8th, and today I'm going to talk about a new add on that I have created for the Ultimate Trading Strategy called the Ultimate Trading Strategy Day Trading Add on. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Ultimate Trading Strategy, this is a strategy, an automated strategy that I built for the Think and Swim platform about 2 years ago. And, a number of people have bought this and trade this strategy. And what most of the users have today, or in fact, all users have today, is the UTS for swing trading. And so I continue to enhance that version. So far I've done 6 revisions to that software. Now, for those of you who don't know about Ultimate Trading Strategy and what it entails, I will have a link in the description section, and you can watch an overview of that. And clearly, this is not a tutorial today. I'm going to more talk about a product announcement. So if you're looking for a tutorial, perhaps this is not a good use of your time. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I'll tell you a little bit about the new add-on. So what does the new add-on contain? So I had a number of requests from users, mostly on YouTube, and a few of those in my Discord room that wanted me to create, a strict strategy that is only for day trading. So based on that, I've created an add-on option in the UTS system itself that strictly enables traders to day trade, and they can also compute their profit and loss just for that mode. So, as most of you know, that in my last update, I gave the ability for users to compute the profit and loss before they enter any trade, right? Just by running a report, you can see how this strategy has performed on a particular stock on a particular time frame in the past, and based on that, they can project what it would look like in the future. I've added some new optimizations that affect day trades in this new add-on. Existing UTS users can continue to use their existing software, and if they so desire, they can close the trade at the end of the day, if it doesn't have an official close, and they can re-enter the trade next day if they do not want to assume overnight risk. So this is helpful in this current environment that we have, where the market tends to gap up or gap down, significantly, based on news that we get. And in this case, it enables you to take off all your trades at the end of the day, and the very next day it will again give you specific entry points, assuming an opportunity presents itself, right? So there's no guarantee that there's going to be a trade on every stock every day. And lastly, what I've done is I've optimized this for 5, 10, and 15-minute timeframes only. So it would be not advisable to use it for 3 minutes. You can use it for 3 minutes, but then you will not get a close signal at the end of the day, right? So the close signal will only come if you're using 5, 10, and 15, because it automatically computes the time frame, whether if it is 12:45, 50, 55, that you close the trade at that time. So effective immediately on the website, I will only distribute the new bundle. So you get the UTS for swing and day trading for a price of $12.99. Now the existing UTS swing, I had it priced at $1,000, and existing users of UTS, if they so desire, they can get the add-on for $299 at any point in time. And that's really my cost of development for months, where I had to write the code and test it over multiple time frames, over basically thousands of stocks to come to an optimized platform for day trading. Now, if anyone wants to upgrade, they will need to drop me an email, and this obviously true holds for existing customers, or message me on Discord, and I'll provide them with a coupon for this add-on. Now, I will also continue to upgrade the existing UTS. I'll just call that UTS Swing for existing customers that have it, and there's no obligation for anybody to upgrade to this new version of day trading. And especially if you're already a savvy trader and and manage your close yourself, there would be no need for you to upgrade. And as I've mentioned, I've provided 6 revisions to this software thus far. Now let's get into the software, and we'll see exactly how this works. So one of the things you'll see is that we actually had two styles for trading, which was one was an aggressive mode and the other one was the conservative mode. And aggressive obviously gives you trades a little bit early on, and then you have a conservative mode where it checks for more signals to be aligned before you get a trade. And now I've added an option which is called day trade or swing trade. And the way you adjust that is by going into the gear here, sliding down, and then here's where you adjust for aggressive or conservative. And now you have an option called day trade. It's yes or no. Now if it is yes, then by default it's going to close the trade at the end of the day, and if it is no, then it's the old format of swing trading that we had. So for this purpose today we'll just focus on day trade only, and we'll cancel out of this, right? So one of the things we'll now look at is different trades on a handful of stocks and see how well they have performed. So here's a good example of a stock where it gave a buy signal, and one of the things it did is it closed the trade on the last bar. So one of the things why I close it on the second last bar is because it basically starts computing the profit and loss from the open of the next bar. So I don't want that bar to drop to the next day, because if I had computed it here, then it would actually give a result that wouldn't be consistent. Now, so what it's basically doing is, now of course in this case you can close the trade at the very last bar. So think of it as a reminder coming to you that this trade needs to be closed, and you can close it at any point in time. So one of the things we can now do is we can look at the profit loss on any of these. So now this had a profit of 4,491, and you can see this trades originated, started 127, and they go on till last Friday, and you can compute the profit and loss before you enter the trade. Here's another example. Now, as I mentioned, this is strictly day trade. So you got an entry here on Wednesday, and you closed it on the last bar, right? Once the trade is closed, as we move on to the next day, we realize that an opportunity really didn't present itself, right? So this really didn't take any kind of a trade the following day. And then again on Friday, if you go back, if you look, we had a nice short trade. So again, this is taking trades both on the long as well as the short side. And then again, you can right click on it, and we can look at what the report looks like, and we'll notice that this one had a profit of 1432 as well. Now we can take a look at a couple other examples. In this case, we'll look at Amazon, or let's take a look at Tesla and see how well this strategy performed. So pretty much same thing. You can right click on the down arrow, and you can then start to look at what the actual report looks like in this scenario. And so I just scroll down. Unfortunately, the system becomes a little slow when I'm running. So you have a profit of 16,210. So this gives you a pretty good sense, and you can go through most of these stocks, right, or any of these stocks, and you will see in general, right, it has actually performed reasonably well. And if you find like anything is negative, then of course your goal is not to take that trade. I prefer trading things that are a little bit more volatile, which have a high ATR, right? So that gives you a little bit more swing during the day. And we can take one more example, and you can double click on this and see the same report at the end of the day, which is how much profit it's computing or not. So unfortunately, the system's become a little bit slow, and but this one also was is also a positive trade. So these are like essentially the the stocks that a lot of people like trading. These are high momentum stocks, and I've run the test on a lot of stocks, and I'm not saying that I've tested each one of them. And one of the other things you will notice also is that you can switch the time frames to finally it came back to life, and we'll look at the report on this one. And so here's a profit of 2,418 on 22 trades, and this by default presumes you're trading 100 shares, but you can adjust the number of shares as well. Now you can also switch to smaller time frames as well, right? So we can look at like one quick example, as long as the system doesn't get too slow on us. So we can you can switch to a conservative mode here as well, right? So we can go into the conservative mode, And from aggressive, let's just select conservative. So one of the things we'll do is we'll take a look at the conservative mode and see how the performance was on this particular stock. So in this case of Tesla, again, we're going to right click and look at the show report option. And in this case, you can see we had a total of 6 trades, out of which 5 trades were successful. The first trade was profitable by 1600, the second by 393. We had another one for 3200, a win of 4700, a loss of 224 and 742, for a grand total of 10,500 in a month's time trading Tesla. So hopefully this gives you a few examples of how the day trading option, differentiates itself from the swing trading option. And if you have any other questions, you can connect with me via email or my Discord room. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon in the next video. Bye bye.